What's up, guys? We're going to do another video today on the practicing feature in Tessitura Pro. We're going to talk about how to harmonize the practicing pattern that we've made, what we can do with time signatures, saving that, and then exporting it to some other music notation software like Logic Pro, Sibelius, or Finale. So today we're going to use something kind of cool. We're going to use this Raga Nalangi Indian scale pattern just to illustrate some of the things that Tessitura can do. So I have it loaded here. Let's go to the practice panel. So this is what the scale sounds like. I'm going to click on here to play it up and down. Very cool. This is a really good scale to use, as you can see here, with a C diminished 7, 9, flat 13, or just a regular C diminished chord, or a C diminished 7. So it has a lot of diminished-esque properties that make it good for a lot of these diminished chords in the diminished chord family. So let's say we don't want to deal with this tricky double flat here. So as it's written out here, it's very diatonically consistent. I don't like to deal with double flats, so I click on the double flat button here. Now that B double flat is notated as an A. Makes it a little easier to read. Not, like I said, diatonically consistent, but at least we understand now how to read the scale a little bit faster or more efficiently. So up here, you can see I've already preloaded a pattern. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch one of our previous videos that explains how to edit this and how to make your own pattern. But here we have up a note in the scale, up another note in the scale, up 2 notes in the scale, and down 3 notes in the scale already loaded. Let's click on play to hear what that sounds like. Just using a regular quarter note rhythm. The green notes are the first note of each pattern. We have those highlighted. I've clicked on over here, color first note in pattern, so we can see those in green. And it will resolve back to C automatically. So what if we want to take that pattern and harmonize it, or harmonize each note within the pattern? All I have to do is go over here, click on the harmonize button. So as you can see here, the preloaded or the default harmonization says here 3.5. So what that really means is it's going to take the given note, which in this case is C, and harmonize it with the 3rd note above it in the pattern and the 5th note above it in the pattern. And it's just going to keep doing that with each note. Here, over here, we have a D, and then the 3rd note above it, G flat in the scale, and then the 5th note above it in the scale, A natural, or what we had earlier is B double flat. And it just keeps repeating that over and over and over again. This is what it sounds like. Very cool. Very soundtracky. You get the idea. So now, what we're going to do is edit that harmonization pattern. Let's say we want to do something a bit more complicated or just different altogether. Let's go with the 4th note in the pattern, the 7th, and how about the 9th? I click return, and then it loads what I just input. Let's hear that one. Still have the first note of each pattern highlighted in green, and then our edited harmonization is playing on top of them. And there it goes back down again, and there you go. So as we explained earlier in previous videos, we can also include approach tones to our pattern. I can do that by just clicking here. All right. So what's preloaded is a chromatic approach from below. So there's our green note here, and here, and here, and preceding each first note of the pattern is a chromatic ascension from below. So I'm also going to do this. I'm going to change the rhythm we're using from a quarter note to an 8th note. Let's hear what that sounds like. So kind of cool because we have a 5-note pattern paired up with 8th notes. So we have this cool offset emphasis on the beat. All right. What if I don't want that? What if I want my time signature to match how many notes are in my pattern. Well, I can do that very easily by going over here. Let's go with, since it's a 5-note pattern, and we're using eighth notes, 5/8. So now every approach tone will land on the downbeat. Easy peasy. As we also kind of illustrated in previous videos, you can add rhythmic displacement to your pattern just by sliding this leveler left and right. So let's say, for example, I want to make that approach tone a pickup note, and I want the first note of each pattern to land on the downbeat, all the green notes to land on the downbeat. I just move this over to here, an eighth note before, and then now the first note of each pattern is on the downbeat, not the approach tone. Pretty cool, right? So let's say after I've created this pattern, I want to make a note of certain things I want to do with this pattern, whether I'm practicing it myself or whether I'm sending it to a student that I have. I click on this down arrow right here, and that opens up this notes panel here. So as you can see, I can add notes and comments about the pattern. For example, first I click edit note, sorry. Now I can click the cursor in the box and write whatever I want about it. Like for example, I need to get it up to, please excuse my typing, 120 BPM. And I'm currently not there. I'm currently at 90. So I'm telling a student of mine or myself that it's important that we get it up to 120 beats per minute, but that we do so gradually, and this is where we're managing it right now. Also, I could say things like, I could speak to its purpose or its function or where it works the best. Great for diminished chords. Z. There we go. There's the S. So now I have notes about the pattern I've created, and I save that note just by clicking here, and I can get rid of that window, and it's always there. So now we have all these parameters we've set. We have the tempo, we have the time signature, we have the rhythm we're using, we have the approach tone, we have the harmonization that we've added to it, the notes we just added, and we want to save all of that. So all we have to do is go to File, Save Full Pattern As, and then name the file. Let's go Indian Diminished. Save. And there we have it. So now what I'm going to do is export this as a MIDI file for the purposes of going to any music notation software like Sibelius or Logic Pro or Finale, and then we can see it written out, or we can print it out and hand it to a student that we have, or whatever we want to do with it. Over here we've clicked on auto key, so it's gonna write it out in all 12 keys after I export it. So let's do that. Let's go to File, Export Pattern as MIDI file. So we'll just put the name in here that we had earlier, Indian Diminished. Save. I'm gonna go here, make this a little bit smaller, and find our file. There it is right there as most recent. Right click. I'm going to open with Logic Pro. Let's do Logic Pro. So there it is as a sound file up top. Right down here, I can see the score. There it is musically notated for us. And from here, I can print or do whatever I want with it. There we go. And if you just want to do it in Sibelius, let's say we want to do it in Sibelius, right click, open with Sibelius. Different interface, but essentially the same result. Beautiful. So, let's see, General MIDI, okay. Spacing the score. There it is scored out for us in 5/8 in every key. So that's that. I hope that was helpful. Please remember to keep the comments and questions coming. We'll try to answer them as promptly and succinctly and as clearly as possible. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.